Good morning. I'm now at the Texas A&M University in the Department of Nuclear Engineering in the office of Dr Farheen Naqvi. This is part of the Nuclear Security Science and Policy Institute, where Dr Farheen is a faculty. Happy to meet you, Dr Farheen. Farheen has a distinguished academic career. She had a master's in India, did a PhD in Germany, postdoc at MIT, and continues at Texas A&M University as a faculty. I'm very happy to meet you. I'd like to know from you your journey into academics, life, and research.
Sure. Hello everyone. As Dr. Sai Baba said, that I am a faculty member here at Texas A&M at the NISP Institute. I am a research assistant professor here, and I have joined recently, like 8 months ago. My primary responsibility here is to teach graduate and undergraduate courses and to do research. My research is in the field of nuclear security and safeguards. It focuses mainly on building radiation technologies or detection technologies for preventing the illicit trafficking of special nuclear material. So that kind of aligns with the IAEA objective of preventing any, illicit trafficking of special nuclear material, and to ensuring that the nuclear fuel is used for peaceful purposes. Now, before coming here, I was a research scientist at MIT, and was working there at the nuclear engineering department. And the work there also was in the applied field of nuclear security and non-proliferation. But before that, I did a couple of postdocs in US only, but the field was fundamentally nuclear physics, so nuclear structure and nuclear reaction physics, having applications in the field of nuclear astrophysics. So the work there focused on understanding the nuclear synthesis processes that are responsible for making the elements that we see around us, the elements, heavier elements such as gold or silver. And I was doing experiments in extracting nuclear cross-sections that go into the modeling that is used for understanding these processes.
Yeah. I would like to interrupt here and say, just can share about your academic journey, starting from India and being in Europe and now in the United States, different parts of India. How has it been, the experience?
The experience has been fantastic so far. So I did my bachelor's and master's from the Department of Physics and Astrophysics in Delhi University. And there I had a professor who had collaboration in Germany. So I talked to that professor and then got in contact with some of the professors at University of Cologne in Germany and GSI. So GSI is a Helmholtz Center for Heavy Ion Research. And I got in contact with the professors, I was interviewed, I got that PhD position, and soon after finishing my master's, I moved to Germany for PhD. Now, I'm talking about 2007. So at that time, it was still difficult to find people speaking in English, and there were, of course, since I moved to Darmstadt. So Darmstadt has a lot of research institutes, so there were many international people there. So people in the institute were speaking in English, but Darmstadt is a small town, so it was difficult to find people or on the streets who could speak in English. So moving from India for the first time to an international destination and figuring out life in Germany in general was a challenge, but it was a challenge only for 6 months. I made friends there, and I got support from my professors, and slowly I integrated. And after that, things were really, really good, because then you can socialize. The main focus was obviously work, but then you can socialize and things get easier when you have people to socialize with or to talk to. So that was, Germany was it was a learning curve. Where for the very first time, I was living without my parents and was managing everything all by myself, insurance, bank, and many other things. So that was fun, and then I started applying for postdocs. I finished my PhD in 2011, so it took around 3.5 years, and that's the standard time to complete your PhD in Europe, because there's no, the coursework is not there in Europe. So then I started applying for postdocs, and I talked to a couple of professors within the collaborations that I worked for, and I got this position at Yale University. So from Germany, I moved to New Haven, where Yale is, and that's in Connecticut. And my first impression of US, because I landed in New York, my first impression after coming from Europe was that US is dirty. New York was not as clean as Germany or other cities in Europe. But the good part here was, or the better part here was, that people speak English, so there's no problem of communication, and you understand what's written on the streets, and you can drive easily. So that was something different from Germany, and that part I liked a lot. And then again, it took a few months to settle down, but this time it was easier because I had the experience of handling things from Germany. Then from Yale University, so at Yale University there was no experimental facility that we could use. The nuclear, there was a tandem accelerator, but it was not working at that time when I joined the institute. So I was a part of many different collaborations. I got to travel a lot. I went to Japan for several experiments, many different labs in Europe for experiments. So during those 2 years, I met a lot of people, and I got to do experiments at different labs, more in their both. So that was the experience at Yale University.
Yeah, just can you tell me the challenges of doing research? How is it different from India, Europe, and the US?
India, so the research, I've never done research in India because I was just a master's student, and I moved from India and did all my research either in Europe or US. But I was a summer intern at TIFR, so for those 2 months I did some research at TIFR. And well, the difference, I would say, moving from India to Germany, Germans are, in my opinion, it was very structured. So you come at 8, you work, you go for lunch at 12, you come back at 1. It's not going to be like 12 to 2. You come back, it's a 1 hour lunch break, and then you come back and then you start working again. And then at 5, people will start, either going back or socializing. So there's no socializing in between, which was very different from India. This is what I thought, because again, I don't have a lot of experience of doing research in India. So it took me some time to get used to that structure. And it's very useful as well, because you know that from 8 to 5, it's just work. And after 5, and then 80% of the people will leave. So after 5, it's then your lives, whatever you want to do. So that was a culture shock for me, because I was used to going to people's office, to my colleagues' office, and discussing stuff. And in Germany, nobody used to come to each other's office between 8 to 5. So I tried, but and everyone was like, and nobody entertained that. So I learned that slowly. But then when I came from Germany to US is a country where networking is very, very important, and they do the networking through going to each other's office, talking about each other's work. So I had to again relearn that skill, that networking is very important, and go for lunch with your colleague. In Europe also you go for lunch with your crew, but here it's mainly the purpose is to network with people. So that was the main difference.
So I'll have two questions to you. One is can be sensitive. Are there challenges of being Dr. Farheen Naqvi?
Challenges of being Dr. Farheen Naqvi. Right now, I mean, things are a lot easier. But when I started, I would say coming from a traditional family, let's say. So I was the first woman of my family, of my extended family, who came abroad for studies. So there were oppositions, there were challenges, but I was lucky, very lucky to have this close set of people, the people who were really close to me, who were immensely supportive. So at some point, I mean, I was kind of, I would say that I was shielded from all those oppositions and comments because there were people who had supported me a lot.
So what is your suggestion or message to aspiring young people in India who want to pursue research outside, or what's your suggestion, or should I call advice?
Advice would be, if they really, because there will be struggles, if they really are interested in coming and doing research or PhD or any other course, the key is persistence. Other skills people will learn. You will learn how networking is done. Networking is important in all the fields, especially if you want to come to America. So you will learn those skills, but persistence, I have seen that there were times when I really wanted to give up. So first few months in Germany were not easy. Those were the times when we didn't have smartphones, so you couldn't talk to your family members or do video call. I didn't have laptop for the first 6 months, so I couldn't talk or see my parents' face for first 6 months. So there were times when I just wanted to, leave everything and go back to India. But then, again, persistence. I used to think that what was the main reason why I came, why I left my family and came to Germany, and that gave me strength to continue.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Farheen. I wish all the best for you, and continue your journey of excellence in academics and achieve what you wish. Best wishes.
Thank you so much.